So, what are the top three things you should consider when deciding whether to keep a house in your divorce? That's what we're going to talk about right now. My name is Bobby Buchanan. This is Illinois Divorce TV. So, let's dive in. Number one is finances. Can you afford the house? Can your spouse afford the house? Does it make financial sense for you to commit to paying this mortgage all by yourself? What is your budget going to look like if you do have to cover this house all by yourself? Will you even qualify for a mortgage? Before you get emotionally invested in keeping the house or not keeping the house, answering the question of whether or not you're going to qualify for a mortgage is incredibly important and makes a lot of practical sense. So my recommendation is that you talk to a mortgage broker and you figure out, you get a pre-approval or you get some fundamental understanding of whether or not you're going to be able to actually do this. So if you decide, yeah, I want to keep the house, I'm going to make that happen come hell or high water, we'll talk to a mortgage broker to see if that is even possible. Now, if you expect to get paid maintenance, commonly known as alimony in the case, you could talk to the mortgage broker about that as well, because every lender has different criteria for how long you have to be getting that maintenance until it'll be included or counted as far as income for the purposes of getting a mortgage. Number two is going to be your emotional attachment. What does this house mean to you? Why is it that you feel so strongly about staying in this house? This is an incredibly personal question to answer. It's not something that I can give you, there is no one answer for this question, but it is important to think about why it is that you want this house. What's the emotional attachment? To work backwards. Usually when we have a strong emotional attachment to something, it's because it's related to some event that happened in our childhood. Maybe you lost your house in a divorce, your parents didn't keep it, and you see that as a pivotal moment in your youth. And so you're incredibly attached to keeping this house and making sure that history doesn't repeat itself for your kids. And financially, it's going to be a stretch for you to keep this house, maybe even financially foolish to do it, but you feel so strongly about this house. Maybe this house is in a location where you can envision one of your kids keeping the house and raising their own family in it. And because of these emotional reasons, it makes sense to take a risk, a financial risk on keeping the house. If those reasons are there and that personal justification is there, then you might have to honor that. And like I said, this is a very personal question, not something that I can help you with, but I think it's good to just acknowledge that there might be non-financial, non-logistical reasons that you want to keep the house, and just being clear with those. At the end of the day, will you be able to? Maybe not. Will it be incredibly sad incredibly sad? Will you have to grieve over the loss of this house? Maybe. It might not be possible to keep the house. And the toughest part of your divorce might be letting go of the house and realizing that there's just no way to keep it and you're going to have to sell it and split the proceeds. And that's going to be hard. And that might be something that you fight tooth and nail to try to keep the house, and you spend a bunch of money on your attorney, or you don't want to hear your attorney's advice to let go of the house. And so you end up spending more money and fighting and prolonging this longer than it should because you're so emotionally attached to it. And your third consideration, logistics. What does this house do for your kids as far as their stability goes? Is it close to their school? Maybe they can walk to their school. Is it close to their extracurricular activities or other relatives? Where is it in relation to your work or your potential work? Does it make your day shorter? Are you able to work from home if you're living in this home? At the end of the day, the logistics of the house and how they relate to the stability of the children is going to play into the custody as well. So oftentimes, as we're looking at the custody of the parties, who has the kids the majority of the time, it's going to depend on who remains in the house. Ideally, in a lot of situations, the kids being able to remain in the same house, go to the same school, have the same routine is going to be much better for them than their entire life turning upside down. So looking at the logistics is going to be your third and final consideration. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let us know in the comments below if you want to learn anything more about this or any other topic, and we'll talk to you soon.